Welcome everyone to the Evident Proof demonstration. We'll be starting the demo in just 1 minute's time. Okay, welcome everyone. Let's get started with today's demonstration. Demos run at Tuesday 10 a.m. UK time and Thursday 4 p.m. UK time. I'm Matt Roden, the CTO of Evident. I'll give you a brief run through today of the Evident Proof platform. We try and keep these demos to around 10 minutes. So anything we skim over, or as always, feel free to reach out on Telegram, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. So, without further ado, let's briefly talk through the Evident platform for just 1 minute. So, Evident Proof provides proof of data. We store data in an immutable way where the data can't be hacked or changed, and it will never be deleted. We do this so that individuals and enterprises alike can prove the integrity and the immutability of their data through a mechanism we have called a proof certificate. So I'm sure everyone watching is familiar with that already. So we'll go straight into the demo itself. So this is the Evident Proof dashboard. You can see across the top here, we have a place to view our proof seals, a place to view our API keys, and the way that data is submitted into the Evident Proof platform is via a RESTful API. The way one would get started using the Evident Proof platform is to grab an account via one of our account representatives, or you can come directly to me. Any of the team on Telegram will be able to point you in the right direction there. Once you have an account, you generate an API key. You can see here we have a whole range of API keys on my account. You get a key, a secret. This combined with your service agreement ID, which can be redeemed via your profile, is what's required to call the API. You can see the API docs by going to this link. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a trimmed down version of a real life example of the usage of our platform. We have one of the largest providers of government taxi licensing solutions in the UK using our platform. They are using the platform to store data on the generation of taxi licenses, the issuing of taxi licenses, and the governance, the checks and balances that goes with giving someone a taxi license. Why is this important? Well, it was only several months ago now, an article came out in The Guardian in the UK indicating that 150,000 taxi licenses were issued last year to drivers with criminal convictions, driving bans, assault charges, you name it, they had it. And had the data been stored in an immutable way, this could have been avoided. There could have easily been mechanisms to show that every driver on the road had gone through these checks and balances, but because of the way they were generated, this was not possible. So we have as I say, a trimmed down version of a real life application. Real life application is a large government line of business application. This is a one pager to show you how an application would interact with Evident. So on the back end of this application, we are integrated into the Evident Proof APIs. What this demo entails is creating a taxi license. So we can put in a name, so put in one we haven't used before, Tom Jones. We can say their license is active. We could say we performed a criminal record check. Now in the real line of business system, as you can imagine, this is a sort of lengthy process that includes police certificates to show that this process has been followed. Those in the real system are all uploaded against the record, against this form. On this form, it's just a checkbox. Let's put in driving license number. Again, real system, we would have a copy of the driving license on file, stored in the evidence system as a hash, so that we can prove the immutability of these checks and balances. Identity check performed. We said there's no driving licenses, and we click create. Okay, and there he is, Tom Jones. Great, we've got a license. Now, that data has been sent programmatically to evident proof. If we go into proof seals, you'll be able to see that we now have a proof seal submitted to the platform. And essentially, as data is submitted to the evident proof platform, we expect the data to be submitted in a schema called evidence. Evidence entails a cross-reference key that relates back to the entities in your data store. This can be a compound key for more complex databases. A key, so this is a meaningful key to the system. A value, you can see here we have a JSON blob of the data from our form. This can be a single field, or it can be the works of Shakespeare. It doesn't really matter. The whole point is that it reduces down to this seal. We call this a proof seal. So it's essentially a hash of data. This hash is what is stored on the Ethereum network. We do not store the original data on the Ethereum network, only the hash, so that at any time we can prove that yes, this evidence was stored at this time immutably. We store the timestamp, we store all the data, and the seal is this. And when we store that data, we get back a receipt. A receipt is what is required as a user to recall a proof certificate later down the line. So let's take the taxi licensing scenario. So a taxi driver causes an accident or something similar, and someone disputes that taxi license should have ever been issued to that driver. Well, we used evident proof, so we know that we can prove beyond doubt that the checks and balances were followed. And if there's anything further amiss, we can point to the exact proof points, be it the police record check or the driving license database check, to show, well, actually, you know, we were given the data from there. That's the data source we're relying on, and thus the investigation into what happened would go further. But the data that we stored has integrity, and it was stored immutably. So a proof certificate is what allows us to prove that this data was stored immutably. So we're now going to use our receipt, and we're going to request a new proof certificate. This is going to go off to our private chain, to the public chain, and check that this data was indeed stored immutably on the blockchain. You can see here that we have used 0.2 tokens, and this is the time the request was sent. And we're going to go and look at the proof certificate. And we can see here that we have a proof certificate, and a proof certificate can be as little or as much data as is required in a particular proof scenario. Here you can see we have the raw data from our proof certificate. With enterprise clients particularly, proof certificates are formatted as a report of the client's definition. So that is the evident proof platform. If you have any questions, if you'd like an API key, if you'd like an account, or you want to talk more about the implementation, or the way in which data is stored, or talk about a white paper, or any of the above, then you can reach out to myself, Adrian Clark, Brian McClafferty, any of the team in the Telegram channel, and we will be more than happy to answer your questions. Thanks for attending. Again, I'm Matt Roden, CTO of Evident.